up? It's Cinema Shogun here, and every day people have been asking me for an update on that Las Vegas UFO story that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. For those of you all who don't know, a police body cam captured what looked like a UFO flying over some neighborhood, and then a family that lived in that neighborhood called and said that they saw aliens in their backyard. Now, this story got really wild. If you want all of the updates, you could go back on my channel. I made plenty of videos about it, going over each and every detail that came out about the story. But lately, the family has pretty much gone silent. They're no longer really talking about this UFO, which is weird. Because you see, at first, they were really open to talking about it. They were doing TikTok videos, interviews, you name it. They were talking about their experience, but on the news, the mainstream media was claiming that this family was missing. They said that this family vanished without a trace and that they refused to talk about what they saw. But we all knew that was a lie because I was sharing videos with you all of this family, or at least one of the members of this family, talking about his experiences. Well, now it looks like the mainstream media got what they wanted. They wanted this family silenced, which is why they ran all of that fake news. For over a week, they were running stories about this family missing and gone without a trace, refusing to talk. When that was never the case, the family would be chilling in their front and backyard, making videos, doing interviews with whoever would ask. And the mainstream media was lying about them. Well, I think that kind of spooked and freaked out this family, and understandably so. That would have freaked me out as well. If I'm sitting here in my front yard doing interviews, and then I turn on the news and the news says my family is missing and has vanished without a trace, I'm going to get kind of creeped out. Because to me, it almost seems like the news was kind of sending the family a warning. Like, hey, this is the next big news story if you keep talking. We're not going to be talking about the UFO and the aliens in your backyard. We're going to talk about how your family just went missing off the face of the earth. And I think that really scared the family. And like I said, I understand why. But there is a little update. It turns out that they have hired a lawyer, and they're having a problem right now with people just popping up at their house, going on their property, walking around, and you name it. And I got to tell you right now, if you watched the initial video, when that family, they were going in the backyard, you could see that one of them was armed. So if you're going to be going and walking around these people's house, be prepared for something bad to happen. Because not only is this family armed, which they should be, this family's been dealing with a lot. I gotta imagine that they're paranoid. They don't know what to believe. They saw something crazy in their backyard, and then all of a sudden the whole world was paying attention to their story. They've reported Men in Black type people just posted up in front of their house in unmarked cars. All types of weird stuff has been happening to this family. So even if you're a curious person in the area, I would suggest not bothering them. Because the last thing we want to do is to be filming an update about someone getting shot or killed at this house because, curiosity killed the cat. But while you're here, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you hit a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button below. Drop a comment. Let me know if you believe this story or if you think it's a hoax. And I'm going to show you this little clip from the local news in that area talking about some of the problems this family has been facing. and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Tonight, it's a story that everybody is still talking about. What happened in a local backyard that prompted a family to call 911 about those alien sightings?
An attorney who represents that family says trespassers are bombarding his clients.
8 News Now investigator David Charnes with his warning. David?
Right, Denise, that message is to stay out or you could get shot. We don't know what happened at this home, which prompted now this viral police response. We do know this attorney says you could get sued if you intrude. You do not think this is a hoax?
That's not the part I go into, because that's not what I'm hired for.
Sam Haydari says the family in this body camera video,
Did you see it?
who called 911 reporting aliens, has this warning.
There is a possibility of the injury if they get into it, because this family also, they are armed as well. So it's better not to do it, because they cannot determine who is entering, who is a trespasser, who is a thief, or who is a robber.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
The family making that call saying there were 2 large figures in their yard.
I don't believe in it, but what I saw right now, I do believe in it. I got scared like you.
You guys don't, you guys seem legit scared, so I don't blame you.
They actually saw, quote, non-human beings.
Since the story went viral, Haydari says looky-loos are going on private property, investigating for themselves.
They don't have any aliens in the storage or anywhere, so don't try to climb up the walls or send the drones.
Keyboard detectives, meantime, have gone over the videos frame by frame, including this clip from the backyard that night. Sources telling the 8 News Now investigators police do not believe this is a hoax, but aliens?
And you believe them?
Yeah, I believe them because they are sincere. They were scared based on what they said. If they have seen that situation, that you saw the videos, they were reaching for the gun and also trying to see something. I don't know what happened, but apparently they saw something that was out of ordinary.
As we reported earlier this month, Metro set up cameras at that home after that family called about a possible trespasser. Police tell me today that there's no further calls for service at that address and that those cameras are gone. Big question, though, Denise, is if there were beings there, whatever it was, where did they go?
Right, and what do people expect to find, too? Trespassing charges, by the way, in our state do carry possible jail time and a fine. And as the attorney mentioned, civil cases can be filed in extreme circumstances. Now, body cam video and officers' responses to calls, even 911 calls themselves, are public record in Nevada. Now, keep in mind, 8 News Now has never identified the family by their name nor revealed.
So there is one major thing that these news reporters got wrong. And we got to go ahead and call that out right from the jump. The police department did not put up cameras at this house because this family called about intruders. That is a blatant lie. What happened was these investigators, police officers, whoever they were, they showed up back at the house, undocumented, by the way, undocumented. They showed up back to the house, which they, for the longest, were denying. They finally admitted it. If you watched my videos, then you know this. But they denied putting cameras up. They even denied having a Department of Homeland Defense sector within this police department. They lied about a lot of things. The family did not call about an intruder, no. Investigators and officers showed up back to the house a couple of days later and wanted to put up cameras telling the family that it was for their protection, to protect them from intruders. The family didn't call about intruders. Mind you, the police department did this well before this story went viral. This family didn't want this story to get out there. This family called the police and that's it. Somehow, the body cam footage and stories about this situation leaked to the media. The family did not leak this information to the media. The family did not ask for those cameras. But not only did they come and put cameras up at their house, pretending that it was for their protection, even though no one knew about this story yet, once they got called out and people realized that they put up cameras at this house, They came and took the cameras down. Now, if these cameras were really for that family's protection, and they were really there to stop intruders, then why aren't the cameras up now? Why hasn't the police department come down there and put up new cameras now that this family is really dealing with intruders? Isn't that odd? It's really odd to me. This whole story, it's been odd from the beginning, but it got crazier and crazier the more we started digging into the story. It got to the point where I wasn't even worried about UFOs. I wasn't worried about the aliens they supposedly saw in their backyard. I was worried about the cover-up that was going on from the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, because we caught them in several lies. And not only did we catch them in lies, once we would catch them in a lie, they would come out and basically admit the truth without acknowledging that they lied about all of this stuff in the first place. So it's a really weird situation. I think, judging by the fact that now this family's dealing with problems like intruders, and the police department is nowhere to be found with their surveillance cameras, it shows you that they did not set up surveillance cameras to protect this family to begin with. In fact, I think it was the exact opposite. I think they were not only trying to monitor this family's backyard, I think they were trying to watch this family. I would not be surprised if this family's house is bugged. I would not be surprised if there's microphones in that family's house listening to their conversations. I think that everyone, besides the general public, the police department, our government, that lawyer, everyone's taking these claims very seriously. The only people who talk about this maybe being a hoax are people on YouTube and people on social media. All of the officials that entered into this situation, from police officers, investigators, lawyers, you name it, they all believe that this family really did see something, and I believe it as well. I don't believe this family was lying. I'm not going to say that they saw 10-foot aliens. I don't know what they saw, but they saw something. And the response to the story is what should show you that there was some legitimacy to all of this. Because if not, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department and whatever other secret agents were working with them would not have been there putting up cameras, interviewing the family. This whole story would not have been taken this seriously. There are reports of UFO and alien sightings all of the time, way more than you could imagine. The difference between those and this story is that people actually took this story very seriously. And I think there's a reason behind that. I think they know a little bit more, not the family, but I think our government, whoever's behind all of this stuff, I think they know a little bit more about the situation than what they're letting on. I think there's a reason why they took these claims so seriously as opposed to other claims that we see. And I think the reason they took these claims so seriously is because they have some type of knowledge about something that maybe happened that night. Maybe they have some type of knowledge about whatever that was in the sky. Who knows? But like I've been telling you all since day one, there's definitely more to the story. And even though there's not much to gather here from this update, the one thing we can gather is that, hey, now they're really dealing with real intruders, people who are popping up at their house being nosy. The police aren't there with cameras to help them. But the police were there early on before this story even got out there. Before there would have even have been a threat about intruders and people worried about what was going on at that house. So I think that should show you that there is something to this story. Will we find out what that something is? Maybe not. But I'll continue looking into it, and if there are any other updates, I'll let you know right here on this channel. So hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.